Greetings and blessings, dear friends in the Spirit 111. It's Eddie Luisi. Perhaps you feel stuck, standing at crossroads, uncertain which way to go. If you just stand there waiting for your destiny to come to you, it may never happen. Head out in a direction you believe to be the best, and God winks will begin to reveal themselves like signposts in the fog, guiding you on the road ahead. So that's going to be the theme today, guiding you on the road ahead, guiding me on the road ahead too. So how are you? I hope you had a great week. I hope you're going to have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to share a little bit about last week, tiny bit about this weekend. Actually, my wife just called me, Liz, the person who does Cue the Spirit with me. She saw a bear in Stony Point, and she called the police, and hopefully they're going to take care of that little bear, and everybody will be okay. So, guiding you on the road ahead. Remember a while ago I told you, dear friends, that I am going to be in the July issue of Science of Mind? Well, that's the cover of it. And it's so cool that it got the moon too, because remember I always say I have this connection with the moon, or I wake up and I go out in the morning and I see the moon, and it's like a beautiful sign. So this isn't out yet, but I got a sneak preview of it. So if you open up, they have a little something in the front, and it's also in the July issue. It has the 3 different things. And then it says, Eddie Luisi, social media making a difference. Oh! And then you turn the page. Oh, this is Julie. Julie, thank you. Julie. She wrote the article. Thank you. And the editor that helped out and coordinated, Holly, thank you. I am so appreciative and humble, and this is helping me on my journey also. Friend of Spirit, whoa, with a tuxedo on. Whoa, you don't see that often. So I am not going to read this to you because it's the July issue, and I'm hoping that you go on scienceofmind.com and maybe subscribe and pick up the issue and say, hey, I'm a friend in the Spirit. I'm a friends with Eddie Luisi. But I will just show you a couple little things, and then we'll move on to the talk. So I'm on page 76. Look at that. What a great layout. I mean, I love the background. I love the pictures. I love the font. I mean, it's fabulous. Then they have a picture of me with my tats and our logo. I think I got 10 pictures. Me with Elton John and Miss Piggy. They have my daily ritual here, which is really, really cool. I mean, you guys really did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. There's me and Liz, Cue the Spirit. There's me with Clapton and John Mayer, guitar player. And then what I'm going to read now, and I wasn't planning to do this, but I just felt it, okay? So I'm cueing the Spirit. This is from the writer, Julie Moreau. And in our discussions for this interview, you know, she told me this, and I said, Julie, this is great stuff. You should put it in the magazine. And she goes, I normally don't do that, but I'll think about it. And she thought about it, and she prayed about it, and she put it in. So thank you. From the writer. Sometimes writers chase stories. Sometimes stories chase writers. Inarguably, the best case, the story and the writer meet serendipitously. These big words there, Julie. As a contributor to this magazine, I scan for stories in all possible places. As an administrator of the Science of Mind Facebook page, I read every comment on every post, sometimes several times a day. So when I started seeing regular comments from Eddie Luisi, always tagged with Friends in the Spirit 111, my curiosity was piqued. I looked Eddie up on Facebook and sent him a friend request. I reached out to him by email to learn more about what his goals were for the Friends in the Spirit 111 group. As any writer would, I asked questions and follow-up questions, and then I asked follow-ups to the follow-ups. Good job, Julie. My original interest in Eddie's story was the simple premise that social media can be used effectively to put good into the world, that one person can essentially bring positive messages to a multitude. I'll admit, when I first reached out to Eddie, my goal was to ask him to not use the Science of Mind page to promote his own group. That's true. What I learned was that his efforts dovetail with ours, that he is a man of integrity, passion, and spirituality, that his story is our story. I hope you'll agree. So, Julie Moreau, thank you. Holly, thank you. Everybody at Science of Mind, thank you. I am humbled, I'm grateful, I am blessed. So guiding you on the road ahead. This is guiding me on the road ahead too, and you're part of the journey. You're a friend in the spirit, and I know there are great things happening in your lives too. This is from Daily Practice, Sacred Reading and Meditation, One Spirit Learning Alliance. Each day and the living of it has to be a conscious creation in which discipline and order are relieved with some play and some foolishness. From May Sarton. I like that. I like to play around. I like to be a fool sometimes. Actually, this weekend, my son, Andrew, and his girlfriend, Morgan, drove down from Montreal, and they're coming to our house later. And it's our 20th, our daughter's birthday, Olivia's, her 20th celebration tomorrow. So hopefully we're going to have a little play and a little foolishness this weekend. Also, talking about play, not foolishness, but play, the Good News Association is having a run today down at Rockland County, and it's a wonderful organization, the Good News Association, and they're raising money to help out the community. Also, in our community, Friends in the Spirit, I receive different messages that certain individuals need prayers, and certain friends of Friends in the Spirit need prayers. So just to let you know, you're in my thoughts, my prayers, and as a community, we're all praying for you guys. Even though we don't specifically say who you are, you know who you are. You know if you reached out to me or anybody else in our different groups, and we're praying for everything that you need. Last weekend, a dear friend of mine, Kathleen, we call her Kathy Sweeney, passed. She was the founder of Children of Mary Nursery School, and all four of my kids went there. Beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful person, and so we love you, Kathy. We're praying for your soul and for your family left behind, and still praying for Children of Mary that it continues to be successful. It's been around for a long time. Andrew's 28. I think it's been around over 30, maybe 40 years. So blessings on that, okay? So this is from Neil Donald Walsh. On this day of your life, I believe God wants you to know that not to decide is to decide. Letting something go until it decides itself is life by default. You don't want to live that way, so choose right now. Stop worrying about what you can lose or how you can win, and just follow your joy. I like that, follow your joy, right? We're talking about happiness. So where does your joy say you should go? It's very interesting because it's good to have to pray God's holy will. What's God's will? I don't know. And some say that we're created in the image of God. Some say God dwells in us. Some people say that that like the ocean, and if God's the ocean and we're a drop of water in the ocean, then we're part God and God is us. And but I think God created us to create and to do good and to be happy and joyful and to share whatever we have with others. So whatever you're going through, whatever you're thinking of, have joy, share it, and guiding you on the road ahead. God could be guiding you, yourself could be guiding you, a family person, a friend, different God winks could be guiding you, right? I told you just last week, my one car died out, I got another car, and there were all these different signs because I was choosing between a couple of cars, and all these signs, all these God winks saying, go in this direction. And then afterwards, after I got it, there were all these other signs. So follow the signs. God doesn't always talk in this big, loud voice that you actually hear. But there are signs all over. This is from Science of Mind. The topic's called futility. From George Carlin. We know George Carlin. Dusting is a good example of the futility of trying to put things right. As soon as you dust, the fact of your next dusting has already been established. I love that, right? That's funny. I don't know this word, but Sisyphus. Sisyphus? Well, the story of Sisyphus is from Greek mythology and is about a king who dared to trick the gods, especially Zeus. Sisyphus was a clever man, but after bringing upon himself the wrath of the gods, he was cursed to push a boulder up a hill to the top. Alas, every time he got to the top, the boulder would roll back down to the bottom of the hill, and he was forced to repeat the exercise for eternity. Just imagine pushing a boulder up a hill every day and then seeing it roll down the hill, up, down, up, down. How futile and meaningless this would be. What is your boulder? What are you continually pushing up the hill or carrying around with you? What is your bag of rocks? My invitation is for you to spend some time in meditation about your boulder. Why are you continuing to push it, and how might you go about releasing it with harm to no one? It can be done. You've done it before. Do it again and create more room for what you want in your life. And that source was betterlifecoachingblog.com. The affirmation from Science of Mind: I gently release that which is no longer serving me and call in the highest and best in every aspect of my life. Guiding you on the road ahead, that's our theme. So what's guiding you? What boulders, what rocks are you pushing and you get pushed back? Maybe that's not the right path. So rethink that, pray, meditate. Share your thoughts with us. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'm sure we have a nice little community that would like to chit-chat back and forth about that also. So, dear friends in the Spirit, I'm going to end with this reading. It's called Why Dogs Live Less Than Human. And I had this as an email. I found it. And I said, oh, this is pretty interesting. I am going to use it. And then I'm done. This talk's not going to be as long as all the other ones because I want to enjoy my weekend with my family. Here's the surprising answer of a 6-year-old child. Why dogs live less than human. Being a veterinarian, I had been called to examine a 7-year-old Irish wolfhound named Belker. The dog's owners, Ron, his wife Lisa, and their little boy Shane, were all very attached to Belker, and they were hoping for a miracle. I examined Belker and found he was dying of cancer. I told the family we couldn't do anything for Belker and offered to perform the euthanasia procedure for the old dog in their home. As we made arrangements, Ron and Lisa told me that they thought it would be good for 6-year-old Shane to observe the procedure. They felt as though Shane might learn something from the experience. The next day, I felt the familiar catch in my throat as Belker's family surrounded me and him. Shane seemed so calm, petting the old dog for the last time. that I wondered if he understood what was going on. Within a few minutes, Belker slipped peacefully away. The little boy seemed to accept Belker's transition without any difficulty or confusion. We sat together for a while after Belker's death, wondering aloud about the sad fact that dogs' lives are shorter than human lives. Shane, who had been listening quietly, piped up, "I know why." Startled, we all turned to him. What came out of his mouth next stunned me. I'd never heard a more comforting explanation. It has changed the way I try and live. He said, "People are born so they can learn how to live a good life, like loving everybody all the time and being nice, right?" The 6-year-old boy continued. "Well, dogs already know how to do that, so they don't have to stay for as long as we do." Wow. Live simply, love generously, care deeply, speak kindly. Remember, if a dog was the teacher, you would learn things like this. When your loved ones come home, always run to greet them. Never pass up the opportunity to go for a joyride. Allow the experience of fresh air and the wind in your face to be pure ecstasy. Take naps. Stretch before rising. Run, romp, and play daily. Thrive on attention and let people touch you. Avoid biting when a simple growl will do. On warm days, stop to lie on your back on the grass. On hot days, drink lots of water and lie under a shady tree. When you're happy, dance around and wag your entire body. Delight in the simple joy of a long walk. Be faithful. Never pretend to be something you're not. If what you want lies buried, dig until you find it. When someone is having a bad day, be silent, sit close by them, and nuzzle them gently. That's the secret of happiness that we can learn from a good dog. Great message, huh? So, dear friends in the Spirit 111, I hope you liked this little talk. It wasn't too long. Enjoy this weekend. Enjoy the week. I am praying for you guys. I know you have some heavy things on your mind, but try to have a little joy. Try to go in that path that you're being directed. And if it's God directing you, awesome. If you're directing yourself, awesome. If somebody else is directing you. But don't forget to keep me and my family in your prayers. Don't forget to share your faith with family and friends. And as my lovely wife would say, cue the Spirit. God bless you.